when I say the word homeschooler, what do you guys think of?
Homeschool Jungle
Genius.
Genius. What was that?
Mean Girls. Like, have you seen that one?
Jungle Freak. Yeah. Anything else? Stereotypes. Quiet. Okay. Yeah.
Reserved.
All very good examples of the classic stereotypes for homeschooling. I was homeschooled for my entire pre-collegiate education, and I was involved in a lot of different homeschool groups, had lots of different homeschool friends, so I know firsthand what all the stereotypes are. You know, there's socially awkward, quiet, reserved, fashionably awkward, always wearing straight leg jeans and long skirts, religious, most people think. But today I'm going to talk to you about how homeschooling is a realistic, equitable, and fun alternative to public schooling. I'm going to talk to you about the origins of the modern day homeschool movement, tell you what homeschooling is, talk to you about the different kinds of people that homeschool, and the motivations that they choose to do so. Let us begin with a brief introduction to modern homeschool movement and what homeschooling looks like on a day-to-day basis. Homeschooling has a long tradition, and until the 1800s, with the institution of public schooling, homeschool was the mainstay of education. Parents teaching their children growing up teaching their children. A lot of famous figures in our history were homeschooled, like Abraham Lincoln, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, Albert Einstein, also homeschooled, and most everyone up until the 1800s. But with the institution of public schooling, homeschooling died out pretty much entirely until the 1960s when it was revived. Homeschooling on a day-to-day basis looks a lot different depending on what homeschooler you talk to. There's a lot of flexibility with scheduling. A lot of people have strict schedules with time devoted to specific subjects. Some people get up late, do school in their pajamas, like me, and you don't spend a lot of time actually doing schoolwork. It's usually a lot less than you would in a public school. My siblings and I spent no more than 5 hours a day doing our school. Usually it was a lot less. And most people cite this flexibility as their #1 reason for homeschooling, because you can notice strengths and weaknesses in your children a lot easier, and you're able to find enrichment opportunities for things they're good at, like music and things like that, and then find enhancement opportunities for things they're bad at, like math. So now you know a general idea of what homeschooling is, and now I'm going to talk to you about the modern homeschool movement and what it looks like today. And talk to you about the people that homeschool. The modern movement began in the 1960s, and it was primarily a religious movement. A lot of parents who were Christians found that the public school wasn't enhancing their family values and was creating a negative environment for their children. So Linda Dodson, who's the author of Homeschooling Success Stories, said that the modern wave of homeschooling came about because of continuing government school problems such as dumbed-down curriculum, violence, drugs, bullying, and more. Homeschooling remained illegal in 45 states until 1993, when it was recognized as a national right. Today, the homeschooling movement looks a lot different. Religious reasons are cited less and less for motivations for homeschooling, and the negative environment and academic failings of public schools are cited more and more. As early as 2002, a web poll by the Homeschool Legal Defense Association found that only 49% of homeschoolers cite religion as their main reason for homeschooling. And with the current population of homeschoolers at 1.5 to 2 million people, and with that number growing from about 2 to 8% a year, it's likely that the dynamics of homeschooling are going to change rapidly. Now you know who homeschools and the shape of the movement. Let's examine the reasons people are choosing to homeschool. 50% of homeschoolers say that they choose to homeschool for a more positive environment, and 14% say for an academic excellence that public school doesn't provide. 12% say for specific needs, and 5% say for flexibility. As mentioned before, the religious movement makes up 49% of the homeschoolers today. That's because they don't want to be part of the public school system that's very secular. One of the fears that non-homeschoolers have from the religious movement is that they're going to be learning substandard academics. Especially in sciences, they'll be taught creationism instead of evolution, and that might affect their scientific learning. But as I said, the secular movement is gaining steam, and they choose to homeschool for academic and social reasons. Let me show you this. Studies show that homeschoolers outperform their public school peers in practically every subject field. 25% are at least 1 grade level ahead and up to 5 grade levels ahead. The average homeschool graduation age is 16 years old instead of the average 18. As you can see here, they perform across the board above public schoolers and even in the sciences. So it's not a big problem. Multiple studies of homeschoolers have found that they have better self-esteem and a better sense of self than their public school peers. And according to one study, they said that public school students are socialized horizontally into conformity with their same age peers, and homeschool students are socialized vertically towards responsibility and adulthood. As you can see, this goes pretty much directly against the stereotypes. Homeschoolers are well socialized, they are academically enhanced, and I hope that now you know a little more about the homeschool movement, and when we grow up and have our own kids, you guys will be a little more informed about the alternatives to the mainstay of education and able to make a good informed decision.